and you can just look at
Okay, I'll try.
the camera's not there.
But yeah.
That's fine
Okay.
too. Do you want to just start with your name and how to spell it?
Sure. Matthew Pointer, MattheWPinter.
How are you involved in all of this?
I'm the founder of the Saskatchewan Electric Vehicle Association. We started about 2 years ago as a non-profit organization to educate the general public and bring more awareness to electric vehicles.
So why is today so important?
Today's actually, this year, 2019, has been a huge year for us. There's been a huge amount of electric vehicle infrastructure that's been developed in Saskatchewan. We started with the Petro-Canada chargers, and now we're getting into the Tesla Superchargers. So the means to charge your car and the way to access these chargers is easier and more convenient than ever.
Do you have a Tesla as well?
I do, yes. I drive a Tesla Model 3.
So how will this impact you traveling?
It's going to make long-distance travel significantly faster and more convenient for me to travel. For example, I drove my car home last year from Calgary. It took about 14 hours. This time around, it might only add about an hour of extra charging time for my trip, so it's significant. And there's hundreds of these, or actually thousands of these all across North America now. For example, I just drove down to San Francisco a couple months ago with the same vehicle. It was a 7,000-kilometer round trip. It cost $250 in fuel to get down there.
That's awesome. What kind of misconceptions do you maybe want to clear up for people who think certain things about electric vehicles?
Sure. Well, one of the biggest probably that these vehicles don't work in the wintertime. And actually these are better vehicles in the wintertime with our personal experience. We found that these vehicles start every single time. They produce tons of heat. They just have a little bit lesser range in the winter as compared to their summertime operation. The other big one is where do I charge my car? People think there's not enough chargers around. How is this ever going to possibly work for me in my life? The thing is that most of the time people charge at home, right? So 99% of the time you're plugged in at home. And then when you go on the road is when you take advantage of these types of chargers that we have here now in Saskatchewan. So that's also a big thing. And then another big one is that these vehicles aren't good for the environment, and that is not true either. Even according to SaskPower's webpage, an electric vehicle emits 25% less emissions over its lifetime than a gasoline vehicle does. As well, you're going to save thousands of dollars in gasoline. So there's several wins for electric vehicles nowadays.
When you started the association 2 years ago, did you think you'd get to this point so quickly?
Well, we were sure hoping for it. We looked at some other places, obviously, and we saw there's a lot of chargers, and that was also one of the biggest reasons why we started. It's just to kind of show awareness and bring awareness, I guess, to electric vehicles to say, like, hey, this is a real thing. They actually work in the winter, and these are a great opportunity for people to get into these.
Awesome. Anything else you'd like to add?
Plug the website.
Oh yeah, so we have several local events that we do throughout the year. We've got one in spring and one in fall. The first one coming up in April is Drive Electric Earth Day, and we'll be hosting it somewhere here in the city. Details will be announced further. And then we have another one called National Drive Electric Week that happens in fall, and it's the same sort of thing. We promote the vehicles, the charging, the infrastructure, and things like that. As well, we've got a website, so it's www.sevaonline.ca, and there's all sorts of information for people there just to educate themselves about electric vehicles and how to get in contact with us and some of our local events that we put on.
Awesome.
Great.
Great stuff. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.